sekretaris dari DIA UPI atau Directorate of International Affairs. Hari ini kita akan fokus membahas tentang sharing best practices in international classroom instructions. Insya Allah acara akan dimulai 5 menit lagi pada pukul 8 tepat waktu Indonesia Barat. Untuk itu bagi Bapak Ibu yang masih bersiap-siap ini itu kami tunggu, dan juga kami persilakan untuk menggunakan virtual background yang sudah kami share di kolom chat. Sekali lagi kami persilakan Bapak Ibu untuk bisa menggunakan background virtual, latar virtual yang sudah kami bagikan di kolom chat. Terima kasih juga Pak Direktur sudah hadir, Pak Direktur dia terima kasih sudah hadir.
Terima kasih Pak Ubad, hatur nuhun. Selamat pagi Ibu Bapak semuanya. Wilujeng Sumting. Welcome.
Hatur nuhun Pak.
Hatur nuhun Ibu Dr. Isah. Tos nyubuh.
Mau jadi pasca.
Masya Allah Ibu, dinten hebat.
Luar biasa Bu Isah ini.
Wilujeng Pak Abu.
Hatur nuhun sami-sami. Bisa. Pak Ubad, boleh dicoba sharing slide? Sudah bisa belum?
Oke, saya coba ya Pak ya. Sudah adakah?
Oke, coba diklik Zoom. Apa namanya? Oke, sudah mantap.
Aman ya?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Saya stop lagi.
Tapi saya sudah meminta.
Alhamdulillah peserta terus.
Halo? Pak Ubad, maaf. saya sudah meminta speaker untuk showing mereka sendiri ya. Jadi kita hanya kalau ada.
Just in case. Alhamdulillah sudah ada 41 participants, berarti termasuk saya dan Pak Abu, walaupun ini hari Sabtu, weekend begitu ya. Terima kasih sudah menghadiri undangan dari dia, Bapak Ibu.
Pak Gatot sudah masuk? Pak Ubad?
Pak Gatot sudah masuk.
Assalamualaikum Pak Gatot.
Pak Gatot.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Bapak Ibu sekalian.
Terima kasih Pak Gatot. Ini saya memang Pak Gatot itu dekan tapi masih muda, jadi saya menyebutnya Mas Gatot.
Oh iya, luar biasa.
Karena beliau mengikuti Mas Menteri katanya. Jadi.
Oh gitu. Kalau gitu saya juga mau ikutan manggil Mas Gatot. Mas Gatot, terima kasih sudah hadir memenuhi undangan kami, luar biasa. It's such an honor and a pleasure to have you here. Insya Allah nanti saya yang akan memandu acara menjadi moderator ya Mas Gatot. Mohon nanti untuk berkenan berbagi.
Ya, Bapak. Ya, terima kasih juga udah diundang nih. Alhamdulillah bisa silaturahim sama Pak Abuk nih. Aduh.
Ya. Pak Ubad,
ya,
Mas Gatot ini teman seperjuangan saya nih waktu di Monas, kita waktu mesantren bareng-bareng ya.
Oh iya, alhamdulillah. Santri Monas ternyata ya dua-duanya.
Iya betul.
Iya.
Pak Gatot, kita masih menunggu, sebentar lagi kita akan mulai dan pembukaan Pak Gatot.
Sok, santai aja ya, terima kasih.
Oh, we also have Ibu Margi. Hai Ibu Margi, selamat pagi. Wilujeng Enjing. Masih mute, Bu? You're still muted? Okay.
Ya, selamat pagi. Good morning.
Ibu Margi, good morning. Selamat pagi.
Hey, good morning. I am just trying to figure out how to get a background.
Okay. I think you can download from the chat room. Or the one we send you, Bu Margie.
Yes, I have it. But how now that I'm in Zoom? How do I?
Okay.
But can you show her?
Okay. On the stop video icon on the bottom left of your Zoom, you choose, and there is a choose virtual background.
Oh, choose
option.
Virtual background. All right.
Yeah, choose virtual background, and then you add the image that you have downloaded.
But does she need green screen, Pak Ubad?
Yeah, but actually you have to make sure that your background, the wall, everything, anything it has to be plain.
Okay, I'll see what I can do.
Yeah. Yeah, because I saw earlier that it was like a bookshelf. Yeah, usually it doesn't work with
the shelf. Okay, I'll see what I can do. I might be able to fix that.
Yeah. Ya, kami ucapkan sekali lagi selamat datang kepada para peserta webinar series dia yang baru saja bergabung. Terima kasih sudah menyempatkan waktu memenuhi undangan kami. Apalagi ini weekend di hari Sabtu. Dan kami sudah membagikan virtual background di kolom chat yang bisa Bapak Ibu unduh dan gunakan agar bisa seragaman nih dengan speaker kita hari ini yang sudah hadir, Mas Gatot. Sebentar lagi insya Allah kita akan mulai, Bapak Ibu. Oke, mohon dikirim lagi, saya buru-buru. Oke, siap. Bu Maha bisa dibantu?
Bu Maha.
Bentar, Pak.
Atur nuhun, Bu Maha.
Sami-sami. Udah, Bapak, silakan.
Maaf, saya mau ganti moda dulu.
Boleh, Ibu.
Pindah ke laptop ya.
Mangga, Bu Isa, mangga.
Terima kasih.
Assalamualaikum, Sadayana.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Mas hatur nuhun.
Sami-sami Pak Ubud. Ya teh kedah di ieu rinem ieuna namina Bapak.
Tekedah Ibu. Mangga Bu bilih bade ngangge background virtual parantos di share deui nembe di.
Mohon mangga. Iya, mohon.
Assalamualaikum Pak Ubad.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Kan abdi mah teu tiasa mujukeun video apa itu menuju perjalanan.
Oh, mohon. Oh, teh saya baik. Ya, teh saya baik. Mudah-mudahan selamat di jalan kade, hati-hati.
Paling kayak aya absen ngiringan lah gitu Pak.
Mangga. Kayak diudingakeun upami link kangge daftar hadirna parantos di-share di kolom chat, Pak.
Pak.
Ya, mangga. Kulan Pak, Bu.
Bu Anggi sudah masuk katanya. Bu Anggi, selamat pagi Bu Anggi.
Selamat pagi semua, selamat pagi Pak Ahmad. Maaf saya tidak bisa menggunakan virtual background karena pecah di laptop saya.
Oh, tidak apa-apa Bu, tidak apa-apa.
Tidak apa-apa. Terima kasih Bu Anggi sudah hadir.
Terima kasih Bu Anggi sudah hadir.
Saya rasa tapi mungkin setting dalam account Zoom saya sudah tertutup. Kemungkinan itu saya keluar dulu lah, akan masuk.
Oke. Ya tidak apa-apa Bu. Because you are the last presenter, so that's okay. Just take time.
Okay.
Thank you though.
Okay, I will be back.
Yeah.
Punten Pak Ubad, ada teman mau join katanya sudah
It is an honor for me to give a speech here on behalf of Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia. First of all, apology from our rector, Professor Salahuddin, and also the Vice Rector for International Affairs and also Education and Student Affairs, Professor Didispieri and Professor Adang Seheman, who cannot make it here because of their busy schedule, even in the weekend. They still have some other meeting at the same time. On behalf of UPI, first I'd like to extend my appreciation and thanks to the three honorable speakers, Dr. Gatot Supriyanto from Faculty of Economic and Communication, BINUS University, and also to Dr. Tri Anggrani Prajnawardi from Faculty of Engineering, Universitas Udayana in Bali, and also Dr. Mari Margaret Thomas, but we often call her Ibu Margi from Faculty of Math. This is our second webinar series in internationalization. So as moderator Pawad mentioned, last week we had a discussion on preparing the international program with the speakers from our university. This series is a part of our program in implementing and expanding the internationalization at Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia. We understand that today internationalization is very important. Everyone, all universities in the world do their best to receive international recognition, and also including our university. Why we invite the three speakers for this session today is for some reasons. First one, we understand that Dr. Gatot Supriyanto is the Dean from the Faculty of Economics and Communication. We know that BINUS University is one of, I think, the most advanced private university in Indonesia. If you look at, for example, their international ranking, for example, in QS ranking, in Times Education, I think BINUS, deserve to get, our attention. So we will learn from Pak Gatot on how to develop and to run international program from BINUS University. For information, Pak Gatot was my, teman seperjuangan. We went together to study at Monash. Jadi kita adalah teman lama yang sekarang bertemu lagi, Bapak. And also the second one, we invite also from Udayana University. We know that Udayana University is one of universities with the highest number of international students. One of them is, of course, because Udayana has very good programs. And also, I think another one is because Udayana is also located in Bali, which is another attraction for international students. So we want to learn from Ibu Anggi, the best practices from Udayana University. And also, Ibu Margi from UPI, because we also know so far, officially, UPI has only one international program. That is IPSC, International Program in Science Education. And Bu Margi is one of very important figure in developing this international program. But UPI is planning to have more international program, especially in year 2021. So we want to also learn not only from outside, from BINUS and also from Udayana, but also from inside, from the Faculty of Math and Science Education. So we do hope that the three speakers will be able to, enlighten our ideas, knowledge on how to run international program. So once again, I'd like to thank the three speakers, and also I'd like to thank the Dean, the Vice Dean, the Directors of UPI Regional Campus, as well as honorable participants, all lecturers. For this program, Pak Gatot, Bu Anggi, and also Bu Margi, we invite at least 5 lecturers from each department. UPI has about 161 departments or study program, and we do hope that these 5 lecturers from each department will represent this, dissemination of information on international program. One of the focus of UPI in developing international organization is we are going to develop one of our strength aspect is Sundanology, because UPI is located in West Java in the Sundanese area. So that is our specialization in internationalization. So that's our distinctive feature. So we will be focusing on how to develop everything related to Sundanology. So it can be music, it can be language, it can be culture, it can be science, science or engineering, but which is based on the culture of Sunda, which is located in West Java. So that's one of our distinctive features. So we will work together with all departments, study program in supporting and sustaining this program of internationalizations. So once again, on behalf of university, I would like to thank the honorable speakers, Dr. Gatot Supriyanto, Dr. Tri Anggraini Prajnawardi, and also Dr. Margi Thomas for your time. I know this is the weekend, so everyone may say why we have this program in the weekend, but this is, I think, one of the best deal and negotiation, because some speakers are also busy in their activities, and also the lecturers also busy during the weekdays. I do hope, and I apologize if, especially for the participants, for the lecturers, if this, a bit spoil your weekend with your family. So once again, on behalf of the university, I would like to officially open this program with the saying of Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I do hope that this program today will run smoothly. From the beginning, we don't have any technological glitches or internet connection problem during the program. So once again, thank you very much and have a nice and fruitful webinar. Thank you and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Pak Abu, that is very correct. Sometimes the weekend is the best timing to have a webinar series like this due to the very hectic schedule of our lecturers. Well, once again, Pak Abu, thank you so much for the speech. Thank you so much for officially opening today's agenda. And thank you so much for a little bit being nostalgic. I mean, that's all right. That's okay once in a while, right? Ladies and gentlemen, now that the event has been officially open, it's time for us to have the main agenda. We're having 3 speakers, and the first speaker is going to be Mas Gatot Supriyanto. But first, allow me to briefly introduce him to you. Dr. Gatot Supriyanto is an accountant with a passion for higher education. Currently, he serves as the Dean of Faculty of Economics and Communication, FEC, the home of 8 strong study programs with more than 6,000 active students and over 150 faculty members. The programs include accounting and finance, communications and hospitality and tourism across 5 different campuses in Greater Jakarta and Malang. He started his career in BINUS as a subject content coordinator in 2008 and became the head of department in accounting and head of program International Accounting Finance Program before being appointed as the dean of FEC in 2018. As a holder of triple accounting certifications, Chartered Accountant, CA from Indonesia, Certified Practicing Accountant, CPA from Australia, and Certified Fraud Examiner, CFE from the United States, Mas Gatot also received 2 Australia Award scholarships for his postgraduate studies to do a master and PhD programs in Monash University, Australia. He was awarded the highest achieving graduate award during his master's study from Monash University. Currently, he also serves as a consultant for Fiscal Policy Agency, Ministry of Finance concerning tax potential and policies in Indonesia. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please join me in giving the warmest welcome to Pak Gatot Supriyanto.
Terima kasih Pak Ubat. Suara saya terdengar dengan jelas?
Terdengar jelas, Pak.
Alhamdulillah ya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Pak
Waalaikumsalam.
Ubat, mohon izin sedikit nostalgic tadi ya. Jadi terima kasih nih Pak Abuk selaku senior saya di Monash University, juga teman lah ya. Kalau ke Masjid Westall di Melbourne, tapi biasanya beliau ini jadi imam dan khotib. Kalau saya jaga parkiran aja Pak. Nah gitu. Dan yang penting lagi bagi Bapak Ibu sekalian, Pak Abuk, luar biasa bahwa di hari Sabtu, terlebih tanggal 12/12 ini Harbolnas.
Harbolnas.
Tetap semangat
Waduh,
untuk
luar biasa.
webinar. Luar biasa nih komitmennya untuk belajar, untuk berdiskusi. Bapak Ibu sekalian, sesuai dengan arahan panitia, saya izin menggunakan bahasa Inggris dalam penyampaiannya. Sejujurnya, walaupun kalau ngomong bahasa Inggris, Pak Ubat, biasanya mikir dulu baru ngomong. Nah, itu bagus tuh ya. Kalau ngomong bahasa Indonesia, ngomong dulu baru mikir. Nah, jadi pakai bahasa Inggris, I think that will be much better.
Oke,
Bapak
monggo
Ibu,
Pak.
please allow me to share my presentation on the slide. It's a very short slide. I also already share the slide to the committee. So Bapak and Ibu, later on, if you wanna further read my presentation, you can get it from the committee. According to the topic, Pak Ubat, just make sure my time will be around 30 to 45 minutes, right? Because
Yes.
as usual, lecturers, like to talk a lot until they recognize that the student already gone, yeah, or they already, make the video off in terms of Zoom.
All right, I'll be your timekeeper.
Okay, thank you, Pak Ubat.
You're very welcome.
The main topic for our discussion today is sharing the best practices in international class instruction. We'll talk about Venus University. So this is my agenda. In terms of the thing that I want to discuss with Bapak and Ibu today. So brief introduction about Venus University. Thank you, Pak Abu, for the wonderful introduction. It is a great honor for us as a private university, especially me being invited to a very prestigious institution such as UPI to share what we have experienced and what we have achieved so far. I'm going to briefly discuss or introduce Venus University to Bapak and Ibu. Then later on, I will quickly discuss about the different types of international class in Venus. So because if you talk about international class delivery in English, so it can be briefly divided into 3 different categories: regular class, global class, or our full-fledged international program. We call it as Venus International. And then specifically on those 3 different parts, I also will discuss about quickly teaching and learning strategies that we usually conducted or that we usually deliver in managing those 3 different classes. This is very important because the lecturer also have to understand their audience. The students also understand what actually the expectation that we place on them. I also like to discuss the support system that Venus provide for the international class, and hopefully this will be quite a good introduction or information to the team in UPI as well. Last but not least, I think this is a very good opportunity for us to also share what we have experienced in managing the situation concerning COVID-19, the changes in student preference in terms of the learning mode, and also the rise of digital content. Yeah? So hopefully I can share 1 thing or 2 regarding this specific or very interesting development on what happened around us. Let's have a look, Bapak Ibu, in the context of Venus University. First, we are multi-campuses. So in terms of Jakarta, we have our main campus. Actually, the first campus in Venus Sahdan. It looks like SD Impress. It's like a very old school, but we don't want to change that because that's part of our history. Yes, on the top left, Venus Sahdan. We also have Venus Kijang that stays same in the Kemanggisan, and we have quite a bigger campus still in Jakarta. It's Venus Anggrek. We also have dormitory. We call it as Venus Square, and we also have Venus Bekasi campus. That's part of the Greater Jakarta campus. Our main campus, which the biggest one, it is Venus Alam Sutra. So that's definitely in Banten. So we have 3 different campuses in Jakarta, Banten, and West Java. And the one that I want to highlight in terms of the discussion of Venus International is Venus Senayan, because this is a dedicated campus and dedicated location where the students specifically place into experiencing the international situation in Venus. So it looks like a very separate campus, because in terms of vibes, in terms of feeling, in terms of the environment, that's completely different compared to the other part of the campuses in Binus. We also have domestic campus, sorry, regional campus, PSDKU. It is in Binus Bandung and also Binus Malang. And one of my faculty, one of my program is also available in Binus Malang, communication. In Binus International, we have finance and also communication in Binus International, and accounting and finance, and also tourism and hotel management in Binus regular campus. So that's pretty much in general discussion about multi-site campus and where usually the Binus International we are focusing at. Next point of discussion is on how we develop our international classes. So first, in Binus, because like 90% of our textbook are in English, except for certain textbook that related to mata kuliah in Indonesia, character building, for example, taxation, for example, that kind of text will be in Bahasa, but other texts are in English. But in delivery, we can divide it into 3 main classes. The first one is basically regular class, meaning this is undergraduate degree. They are coming to the they're coming to Binus to get a normal degree, not international degree. But because we understand in terms of the objective of Binus, we want to be a world-class university, as well as to push our students in terms of graduate. When they graduate, they want to be they want to work in a global institution as well as to be entrepreneur. So we also have some classes that are delivered in English. We call it as DINE, delivered in English. So with this specific class, so basically this is regular student, but we teach the class in English. So you can imagine this class is basically consists of students with various English skills, because they are also coming from different backgrounds in terms of standard high school all over Indonesia. In terms of lecturer requirement, we don't have specific requirement in English skill. As long as they pass certain tests and also certain training, they can teach in the class that constitute as delivery in English. Why do we want to have this specific class, even though this is regular class? Why we don't deliver the instruction in Bahasa, for example? Number one is we want to expose our students with English teaching environment, and want to introduce them to the world-class standard in terms of feeling, learning, all in English. We also understand that somehow, because our international campus in Senayan have a quite limited space in terms of the capacity. So some inbound students, some exchange or study abroad students, usually cannot be allocated into our international program. So they have to come to our regular program. If that is the case, it will be we have to prepare special class that is already delivered in English. So that's why we have this regular class but delivered in English. The second class, we call it as global class. This global class is dedicated program for the S1 regular undergraduate program, but it is by invitation. We invite students with very good academic record, a very high English score to attend our global class. Mind you that this global class is in a limited program, so we don't open all program under global class. Currently, we have, for example, computer science, information system, we have accounting, and also have international relations and international business and marketing. So it's very limited global class. What difference of the global class compared to regular class? All programs are delivered in English, and they have at least one semester mandatory study abroad. So they have to go for study abroad in the context of our enrichment program. But the difference with international program, this program only offers single degree, which is local degree from Binus. And to join, the student have to meet certain English standard. And for the lecturer, the requirement is a bit higher compared to the lecturer who will teach in the dime or in the regular class. So under global class, usually there are some certain requirement with minimum TOEFL score, minimum IELTS score, and they have to pass certain training from BINUS. So they will be eligible to teach in global class. Now, last but not least, this is our full-fledged international program. We call it as BINUS International Program. As I mentioned earlier, this campus is in Senayan campus, dedicated location, and the vibe is completely different. Why? Because they have their own country. They have like separate rules and regulations. They have separate standard compared to the BINUS regular class or global class. In terms of the program that we open or that we offer in this BINUS International Program, currently we have 7. We have finance, we have international business and marketing, we have international business, we have international marketing, we have communication, we have computer science, information system, and also design, School of Design. So we have 7 different international programs. What is the difference with this international program with the global class, for example? You probably may ask that question. The main difference is that under BINUS International Program, we only offer students for the double degree programs, meaning that they have to graduate with double degree. One from BINUS, the other one coming from our university partner. What about the price, for example, or what about the partner choice? It's all depend on the student, so they can choose, for example, 4+0, meaning that all 4 years conducted in Indonesia, but they will get double degree program. In this case, the lecturer from our university partner will come to Indonesia to teach, and we have to satisfy the criteria from our university partner. So 4+0, we call it. We also have 3+1, 3 years in Indonesia and 1 year in our university partner in order to get the double degree program. And last but not least, we also have 2+2 program, which is they will spend 2 years in Indonesia and 2 years in our university partner to get the university partner degree. How about the lecturer requirement? This one is very strict. For example, the one that can teach in this BINUS International Program has to score a minimum IELTS of 6.5. They have to be graduated from abroad, so they cannot have only local degree. We also have some international faculties that basically expatriates coming to BINUS. Or if they do not have a degree from abroad, they have previously worked for the international firm or international organization, then they will be eligible to teach in the international program. So that's the general flavor of what the different classes in BINUS is. I want to extend the discussion on the BINUS International on 4+0, 3+1, or 2+2 discussion. For example, when we talk about the 4+0, this is the program that we offer with University of Newcastle, Australia. That's for international business, international marketing, and finance. And we also have a collaboration with Northumbria University, Newcastle, but this one in UK. That's for fashion program. For those who want to take 3+1, we offer different choice for them to go. So for business school in the undergraduate program and finance, they can go to CBS to Cologne. They can go to Australia, QUT. They can go to Station in France. They can go to Bournemouth. They can go to Edinburgh, for example. So as long as they can, they already done their 3 years program in BINUS, so they can go for 1 year program in our university partner. That's also happened for IT and IS. So FOCM is Faculty of Computer and Media, and also for design. So they have quite a flexible choice where they want to go, as long as they go for the university partner and they should get the double degree. The next one is 2+2. This one is also quite popular. Why quite popular? Because the offer also very interesting. For example, we have UNSW, so they can spend 2 years in Indonesia and 2 years in UNSW Australia. or in University of Wellington in Victoria in New Zealand. This is also popular for finance students because Victoria University of Wellington is also considered a triple crown in business sense, business accreditation. They get accredited by ACSB, EMBA, and also EQUIS. So that's quite popular with our students. So that's the choice provided to the student if they want to go to extend their experience with our university partner. Now, we discuss about the practice or what we experience in the class in terms of international instructions, yeah, teaching and learning strategies. This is what I observed because I basically teach different across those three different classes. So this is basically based on my observation. Number one is teaching and learning strategies when we teach in a regular class, but the delivery is in English. So you can imagine we are dealing with students come from various backgrounds. They can come outside Jakarta. They can come from Pontianak, from Bangka Belitung, Palembang, Surabaya, but they can also come from Jakarta. So we have to deal with different English skills. Unfortunately, because of those different background and English skill, so we have to make certain adjustment in English delivery. For example, I cannot, for example, full explain the discussion in English because it's just too tough for them. For some students, it's just too tough. Why it's so tough? Because they cannot follow my discussion. They cannot follow my instructions. They even struggle with some basic English explanation. So sometimes I have to pause my discussion and I would say that, okay, let's stop here. And I change in Bahasa. Okay, then I explain in Bahasa. So once I explain in Bahasa, they say, now I know, Pak. Okay, we can continue. Okay, then I move on and change my language introduction into English. So we can do that, yeah, to some extent, even though, for example, we have one or two international students in the class. Yeah, I also experienced like that. Student from France, student from Korea, for example, sit in my class in the regular class. But I say to them my apology because some of the students struggle with my explanation in English, so I have to explain in Bahasa. And they say, okay, that's fine. So I explain it in Bahasa. So the teaching pace is a bit slower, and because the teaching is a bit the pace is a bit slower, and they come from various background, I cannot really put a Western style teaching method. So I have to do in a more traditional way, in a seminar way. So I have to explain things in much more detail. I cannot have more interaction and engagement with them. So that's what happens in regular class. With that in mind, obviously, the lecturer who deal with this class also have to adjust their expectation and also have to adjust their strategy. Number two, with a global class, because accounting program also have a global class. So I also experience teaching this type of class. We have full English in terms of the teaching, and the students are coming from national class school or international school. So you can imagine this is in terms of background, this is quite high quality in terms of the background and the English skill. So some students may still struggle in their English, especially in writing, but in terms of discussion in the class or understanding the verbal discussion from the lecturer, not so much. So we can discuss actively in the class. And I can adapt different teaching methods with more interactive and also project-based learning. So for example, I give them project, I let them to discuss with their peers, and then they present it. So they basically do not have that problem because they have the mentality. They also do not have problem in learning the textbook in English. So it's much easier. So I can, teach this class with a fast pace in terms of the style in teaching this specific class, global class. What about the third one? The Binus University International. Like I said earlier, this is a full-fledged international program. So students coming from international school, or probably they are home learning. So their English are very good, even better in terms of pronunciation compared than me. So some are expatriates, for example, Korean, Indian, Chinese, who their parents actually working in Indonesia. So they enroll their kids in BINUS International. Or we also have full-time international students. By chance, they're coming by getting our scholarship, or because they're coming to our class in collaboration, or they know the information from our partner, so they choose to go to Indonesia. In this class, it's very nice because we have more interactive and engaging sessions, because this student is more independent. This is they don't have any problem in English. They're ready for the discussion, and they don't like seminar or traditional method in teaching. So we can involve a lot of project and group learning in this specific typical of class. Because we have different background of the student in terms of nationality, the lecturer also have to be aware with the issue of culturally diverse cohorts. But like I said earlier, because most of the lecturers who are eligible for this program graduated from abroad, so they basically have this understanding. So we don't have much problem in dealing with students in this specific background. So that's in terms of teaching and learning strategies on those three different types of classes that we have in BINUS. Next, I would like to discuss the support system that we provide for our students and our lecturer in a very quick discussion. Number one, for students, we provide them with English language service. For the English language service, all the staff are foreigners. So they are either the Philippines, British, or American. So they provide with giving training, tutorial, academic writing, and some academic skill in writing usually. And we also offer the service of plagiarism checks to make sure that they have that academic integrity in terms of submitting their work in English. We also have student support service. Mind you that earlier we have full international students, that we also have to provide them with support in terms of accommodation, visa arrangement, and issues is if they have any problem with their insurance, health check, and so on. So we have the student support of service in place. And we also have international office. The international office under BINUS Global, so probably just like in UPI right now have under JIA, Director of International Affairs, we call it as BINUS Global here. This specifically dealing with student or lecturer for study abroad, and also for inbound and outbound students. Next, about the lecturer. For the lecturer, we are lucky that we have specific directorate. We call it as BINUS Corporate Learning Directorate. So this one, this directorate or this unit dedicated for assessing and training the lecturer to be able and eligible to teach in international environment. So at the beginning, we have some assessment and what on which area that we are weak, especially in pedagogical methods. So and after that, we get certain training, and we have to pass that training. Have to pass that certification to be eligible to teach, for example, certain class, certain international class in BINUS. We also have language center. This is to enable our lecturer, especially to improve their skill in English or passing some of the English tests, for example. Last but not least, this one is I will discuss in more detail in later parts. We also have a lot of support in terms of digital content. We have BINUS interactive software. If I have time, I will show you the example on how we produce in terms of BINUS interactive software, and also mini studio for BINUS. Now, this one in the picture is B-Box. Mini studio meaning that if you want to create digital content, video-based learning, we just book the studio, we just come inside, and we just spend about 1 to 2 hours to prepare our digital content, our video-based learning to be used in the class. So that support that we provided to make in a successful process in terms of delivery model. Second part of my discussion, earlier part is more on the on how we deal with international class. The later part is probably I would like to share our response or our adjustment toward the situation that we have. in terms of COVID-19, we aware that now we have to conduct a lot of online learning, and also how we deal with the changing preference of students when they try to learn, for example, from home. As we know, the changing preference is they want to learn through video a lot. They usually want to learn in a shorter time period, in a chunking method rather than a very long course. So we have to deal with a new preference from the student like this. And last but not least, also the rest of digital content. So this is an example on how we deal with the model that we have. I think this is a very generic model when we have pre-class activity, in-class activity, and post-class activity. In pre-class activity, mind you that students usually have to be prepared, from some material before they come to the class, and we prepare them in our we call it as learning management system. We call it Binus Maya. We can put some of the exercise question, quiz question beforehand, and we also share lecture notes, PowerPoint slides beforehand, so they are ready before they come into the class. Or by chance, depend on our lecturer creativity, we can have pre-class activity from Kahoot or through Google Forms. So that's up to the lecturer. The next one, in class activity, we call it as multi-channel learning because we have a channel of learning not only one way, for example, only video conference through Zoom. We also have discussion forum. We also have learning from Binus TV. If you have any chance, you can go to the website of Binus TV, www.binus.tv. That's also under my unit in Faculty of Economics and Communication. That's basically the lab, the laboratory for mass communication program. But we make Binus TV engage in our learning experience, whereby, for example, a very good lecturer have a seminar, a guest lecturer, a prominent guest lecturer. We can have live streaming with multi-camera aired by Binus TV, for example, because they have the skill on deal with a live recording or live session. So we can air the teaching from Binus TV. We also have video conference, we have slides, video-based learning, and digital content through our in-class activity. So not all of the classes is on Zoom. So we also, we basically limit our Zoom conference like 7 or 8 out of 13 sessions. The rest, usually we have through discussion forum, through video-based learning or digital content. Again, we don't want to create more pressure to the students, especially during the pandemic. It's just too tiring for them to deal with Zoom a lot. That's in-class activity, whereby post-class activity, we usually have assignment, post-quiz, recorded lecture or video later on. So this is the approach that we have when we try to combine with different technological methods such as Kahoot, Socrates, Full Everywhere, and so on. So this is how we deal with our multi-channel learning, and I think this is the summary, or this is my example that I usually apply in my class using Socrates, Kahoot, Full Everywhere, and Google Form, and the characteristic that will be useful for the lecturer. This is all free stuff, even though with some limitation. For example, Full Everywhere limited to 40 participants, Kahoot challenge mode limited with 50 students and so on. But this is very good to make our multi-channel learning more interactive. And last but not least, this is also how we can still use PowerPoint slides to be an interactive learning method during our multi-channel learning. I think that's pretty much my discussion in terms of how we use our teaching and learning strategy in different classes, different international classes in Binus, and how our multi-channel learning are applied in Binus University. Before I conclude my presentation, I would like to show you a little bit an example of our digital content, or the example of our bid system that we implemented in the class. So this is an example of digital content that we have. I would like to play it, for example. So this is prepared by the lecturer on how they deliver the information about early warning system. For For example, the link will be given to the student, and the student will learn about the material and topic. They can continue on their own based on the digital content provided by us. And at the end, for example, in the digital content, we will provide them with assessment where students can learn and can assess their understanding on the topic that I already discussed, for example. And this bid system is the one that can be accessed through online. So it can be used for us anywhere. So this is very useful when the pandemic situation happens, because we can still work at home and dealing with the digital content that we can prepare for our students. This is an example. I can log in with with my credential, then I can prepare my digital content learning system, so I can help and provide different feeling to the student to develop the content. So this is developed by Binus. I can develop and provide it my own. This is an example when I try to prepare my own digital content. This is also the example of B-Box I saw you earlier. If they are in campus, while they're waiting to go from one class to another class, they can go to the mini studio to prepare a recording for their own digital content. For example, we call it as B-Box. Here, I just want to show you the tutorial quick, if you don't mind, about 2 minutes. Yeah.
Lecturers, sudah tahu kan sekarang Binus punya studio mini? Fungsinya untuk membantu lecturers dalam membuat video pembelajaran secara mandiri. Rencananya, studio mini akan disebar di setiap kampus Binus Higher Education. Diharapkan, hadirnya studio mini akan meningkatkan konten video-based learning yang dihasilkan oleh Binus. Sebelum memulai, yuk kita intip perangkat apa saja yang ada di dalam mini studio box Binus. Notebook, mouse, webcam, mikrofon, pen tablet, ring light, scanner untuk memindai dokumen, USB hub. Saat akan memulai membuat konten, pastikan notebook menyala dan semua kabel sudah terhubung dengan USB hub. Kemudian, nyalakan ring light. Atur pencahayaan dengan baik. Di studio ini, lecturers dapat membuat video presentasi dan screen recording menggunakan aplikasi Ink2Go atau QuickTime. Pen tablet dapat digunakan untuk membuat catatan, menulis rumus, atau memberikan highlight pada materi. Untuk keperluan editing video, lecturers bisa menggunakan aplikasi iMovie atau OpenShot, sedangkan editing gambar menggunakan aplikasi GIMP. Nah, demikian tadi penjelasan singkat tentang Mini Studio Box. Semoga membantu lecturers dalam membuat konten video-based learning. Salam fostering and empowering.
Okay, so that's the example of our mini studio. In short, jokes aside, this is the way to make a lecturer to be a new YouTuber, Ubat and Pak Abu. Yeah, so we can be a new YouTuber later on. Thank you. That's all. I will welcome pretty much a discussion and further question from Bapak Ibu. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, Mas Gatot. Everybody, let's give a big round of applause for the great presentation of Mas Gatot. Yeah, from the beginning of your explanation about the B-Box, the mini studio, it got my attention. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the Q&A session, the discussion session will be commenced after all the speakers finish their presentation. So we're going to move on to the second speaker. Oh, but before that, I'm going to request all the participants to turn on the camera because we're going to have a photo session for administrative purpose. So please kindly turn on your camera. All right, I'm going to start with page 1. Everybody, yeah, look at the camera and smile on my count. 3, 2, 1, smile. All right. And now, the next page. I'm going to take 4 times. I'm going to take your picture. Okay, the next page. Smile to the camera in 3, 2, 1. Thank you. 2 more times. Yeah. Page 3. 3, 2, 1, smile. And last but not least, page 4. 3, 2, 1. All right. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the second speaker is from Udayana University. But first, allow me to introduce her to you. Her full name is Ibu Tri Anggraini Prajnawardi from School of Architecture, Faculty of Engineering, Udayana University, Bali, Indonesia. She earned her bachelor's degree in architecture from University of Udayana, Bali, and she earned her master in architecture from Institut Teknologi 10 November, East Java, and she earned her master in urban and regional planning from University of South Australia and her PhD in urban and regional planning from University of South Australia. She has made several publications, some of which are an investigation of spatial arrangement, form and structural system of traditional houses in Pedawa Indigenous Village, Bali, published in Matek Web of Conference, and form and construction system of Balinese indigenous house, case study Tigawasa Village, Buleleng Regency, Bali, published in JCABE Journal by LPPM Universitas Udayana. She has also been presenting in several conferences, and some of her most current research projects are Form and Characteristics of Cempaka Houses in Buleleng Regency, and also Forms and Construction System of Traditional Houses in Bali Aga Village, case study of Desa Tigawasa in 2018 and 2017. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please join me in giving the warmest welcome to Ibu Anggi.
Thank you, Pak Ubad, for the time. So now I would like to share my PowerPoint.
Yes, please, Ibu.
Wait a second. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, it's on.
It's on? Okay.
It's on.
Just would like to make it slideshow.
Yeah.
So everybody can hear me clear?
Yeah, loud and clear, Ibu.
Okay. Thank you. Also, thank you, Pak Ahmad, for inviting me to give a presentation today, and Pak Gatot, who already gave a really great presentation, and also ada speaker, Ibu Margi, salam kenal. Today, I would like to deliver a topic like share best practice in international program. But I'm going to more focus on the Department of Architecture and Faculty of Engineering, because I would like to share what we have done so far, and I will give a glance about what's the whole program in University of Udayana as well. So here I would like to talk in 3 parts. First part is the international program of University of Udayana, and then the credit system, the learning semester plan, and also course example, and then the excursion during the program, and also marking and assessment. And part 2, it is more to like more welcoming the student, and also how the student orientation going on so far, and also the last part is the graduation. And the part 3 is how to deal with student and how to deal with agents, because this the part 3 also very important based from our experience in Udayana. There's so many thing like happen, like how we deal with student and also with agent who have the have the collaboration with us. So international program at University Udayana, currently we have 7 program running. Yeah, like the name is ISBN, BIPAS, BIPA, Go Bali, Tropical Engineering, Upskill, and UISP. So this all 7 program is run by 6 faculties in Udayana. So in Faculty of Cultural Studies, Faculty of Economic, Faculty of Tourism, Faculty of Engineering, and also Marine and Fishery, Math and Natural Science, and also Medical. So this is the 7 program which is currently running, but due to COVID-19, only BIPAS is running with online program, and tropical engineering we not running the course at the moment because the student there's few student, about 45 students already registered, but then they don't want to do the online course. They would like to come to Bali, as everybody knows, like Bali have, like kind of attraction for foreigners, especially for international students to come. So they not just want to study, but they also want to enjoy Bali and also like have a study and vacation at the same time. So as I mentioned before, yeah. So basically, we have 1 semester program, short courses, short course programs, and online short course program. As I mentioned, due to COVID-19, like BIPAS and program just finished called Surabali. We have collaboration with Petra University and Airlangga University Surabaya. So this is a short course program run by 3 universities. As you can see from the pictures, like we give an online video, and also we give an online lecture, and we held the discussion using the platform, online platform that we have in Udayana University called OASE, quite similar with what BINUS have. So all the videos, all the study materials we uploaded to that system, so all the students from different country can access that program who already registered with that program, and they can submit their assignment. Also, we can do the marking, and they easily can see their grade and everything related to that. So currently only 2 online program that we have, BIPAS and Surabali, but the other program is not running. But we do hope that next year by February, if it's possible or the condition is getting better, we're going to open all the program. In Udayana also now we already created more program. So it's the new program. So this from 15 faculties. As you can see, some of the example here, the Faculty of Agriculture Technology, Mathematics and Natural Science. So there is several new program, both for bachelor and also for master students, and 1 full semester, and also short course, like 1 month, 3 months short course. So this is some new program that already proposed. We still working on this, but this program is basically offered offline. It's like students come here and enjoy the environment of the university and doing all the lecture in Bali. And this is several some faculty. That's the example of the program from Faculty of Marine and Fisheries, Faculty of Tourism, Economic and Business, Animal Husbandry, Social and Political Science, Law, Medicine, and the postgraduate also Faculty of Medicine, and veterinary, agriculture, humanities, engineering, and postgraduate study as well. So in engineering, we do have currently tropical engineering, we call it that. We have architecture, civil engineering, international program, and mechanical and electrical. So at the moment, we also create 2 more short course program. For bachelor, we call it architecture, documentation, and vernacular, and also for postgraduate program, we call it tradition and architecture. So credit system. I would like to explain a bit because I'm not the expert of this, but what we have in tropical engineering is based on credit system, ECTS, which is European credit system, credit transfer system. Sorry, that's typo. So it's basically one ECTS is equal to 25 to 30 hours of study. So about 10 classes each 2.5 hours. So mostly our students are from Europe, and the proportion is like 60% is from Germany, some from Austria and other country in Europe, and like Russia as well. So we use the credit system based on ECTS. Okay, now I move to study guide. So I would like to share about what the study guide, like an example, what thing that is important when you create a study guide so for your international students. So it's simple, but it should be clear. So what is what to include there, just like of course the name of the course, and then the credit, how you can the credit that included there, and then the preface, like what kind of brief description, and also table of content, and the overview of the program, like the course structure, the course duration, the course aim, the course outline, and also facilitators with the photos of all the lecturers and the email address and also mobile number, because students really need this kind of information, especially like this, like based on my experience, something happened, they can't submit the assignment, or they can't attend the class on time due to something. So they can easily let the teachers, the lecturers know. We do have the office as well, the international office, but sometimes like if they send message or they send email, the staff will see all the message or all the email at the same times. But if the student can directly contact the lecturer, that will be much easier, not only for the student but for the lecturer as well. So also timetable and the semester learning plan. What in one semester, the breakdown of the lecturers and everything should be included in the semester learning plan. This is like a timetable that we have for architecture. As you can see, it's explained the course, time, the class, where the room numbers and sort of stuff, the team teaching, and also like the break time in between the classes. What we have here in one semester, we have a lecture from Monday to Wednesday, and Thursday and Friday we have excursion. I will explain about excursion later. So basically excursion is a supporting activity for the subject, so each subject. So, so the excursion, it's divided by two. It's compulsory and not compulsory. So in the next part, I would talk about that. And next, this is one example of the course or subject example, which is I taught this subject interior in architecture. So we have 5 credits, and then this is the team teaching, and then the schedule, and then the room, and then we explain about the subject description and the learning objective of the subject. And then evaluation of student learning process. So we have to be clear about the assessment and marking. So like we already told them that active participation no less than 75% of attendance, and assignment also assignment 1, 2, 3, how the percentage and how the percentage of the exam, and also we have to set what the assignment is, what the assignment are, I'm sorry, and then like if we have 3 assignment, because this example is 1 semester and our students are from bachelor and also master degree, so we have to differentiate between the master and bachelor, so we can't give them the same assignment. So it's we make a difference between a master class and a master student and a bachelor student. Even though we in practical we teach them at the same at the same class, so but they will have more like they will be different for their assignment. This is assignment 2, and then assignment 3, and also exam. So exam, they have also to know in advance what the exam will be. The first during day of the class, so lecturer will explain everything about the learning plan or the semester plan. So they will be really clear about what they are going to do during 1 whole semester. And then by the end, the weekly schedule, so breakdown of each week schedule, and then like week 1, who will be the lecturer, because we work in a team in one subject. We have 3 different lecturers, except for studio, because it's have 8 credit. It has 6 different lectures. Also, make sure that when you have the like student have to submit the assignment, you have to be clear with the date and where to go, and then what format, which is hard copy or soft copy, whether they have to hand it to the office or send it to email. This is one example of the course subject. Like you can see, the lecturer, the topic, the method, and learning competency, what you want the student to be able to learn after the class, the week 1 class, week 2, week 3, and sort of until the end of semester. So in here, we always have a guest lecture. So guest lecture, usually we pick from an expert in interior, if the subject is interior. If the subject in studio, usually we pick one architect who well-recognized architect who give guest lecture to our student. So we have plenty help yeah, from professional in Bali. No matter the Indonesian or the American, they love to join our program. They love to help us to give guest lectures, and also very welcome us to come to visit their office or their project. So this is one of our strength, because the student really loves to see like what is tropical design. They don't want just to know the theory, but they would love to see how it looks, how to design from the drawing, how to build that, and that's really give the student fully understanding about tropical architecture or tropical design or tropical interior in Bali. And this is talk about excursion. I'm sorry, the timetable is so small, so the font is so tiny. So we divided the excursion in the first semester. So week 1, we're going to go to this place, this place, this place. So they basically will know about where to go during for Friday or Thursday. Mostly we do it in Thursday. And only few in Friday. It's depend on the place that we want to visit, because some places they're already full book on Thursday, so we only have a chance to go on Friday, kind of like that. So this is, we have to prepare in the beginning. So when the semester start, we already have the timetable for the excursion. As I mentioned before, that we have excursion compulsory and not compulsory. So like this is for example of a compulsory excursion, where the student has to make a report for what the experience, or making a sketch and put photos about the the site that they visit on the excursion. This is all related to the subject. Like you can see, like the first one, Denpasar City Tour. So it's related to the subject of Southeast Asia architecture. And the second object is Penglipuran and Taman Nusa, is related to the subject tropical home. So they will see, we deliver the theory on the class, and they will see the real building during the excursion. So the excursion is kind of supporting the theory. So gives students the fully understanding about what they learn in the class. Excursion brief. So this is one example of how to make inform the student before the excursion start, like where's the place and the map and what the meeting point and sort of stuff. So we deliver this, we send this a week before the excursion, so they can prepare, they can search on Google where the place and sort of stuff. Some of the excursion, if it's far away from Denpasar, we provide a bus, so we can meet up at the campus, provide the bus, and we can go together. But most of students love to go by their own with their motorbike. So after that, they can free to go wherever they want, explore Bali. This is a few examples of the excursion. On the top left, we can see we visiting a studio, architecture studio of Popodanes. And we have guest lecture as well on the bottom left. And we have a traditional workshop. As you can see, they learn how to make offerings in Bali with the fruits, with the flowers and everything. They're really enjoying to doing this. And then we also have a bamboo workshop, how to make a construction from a bamboo. As you can see, the students have their own design, and they have a small bamboo, and they learn how to create their structure. And on the bottom as well, we see the bamboo building project. There's one of my friends is an Australian architect, Richard Mansers, is really kind, and he have lots of project of bamboo all over Indonesia and overseas as well. So we are always welcome to see the construction site of his. And the right one, bottom right, is we visiting an interior workshop, how to make interior element. Marking and assessment. Yeah, I already mentioned before, like this is one example. So as I mentioned that we using in tropical engineering, not other program, because some of them have a student from Australia, also from India, like medical school. I'm not quite sure what kind of assessment that they use, but in tropical engineering, we have like the grading system based on that German system. So we can see that from the rank the grade and rank of numbers that we hear. So we have we use this as a module. So also we have a remedial 1 week if they would like to improve their grade. We after the exam we like 3 days after exam, we already grade them and we inform the student. So if they are happy, they would ask for any remedial, but if they're not happy, they will ask for remedial. So this is one example of the exam that we have, some of like written one, and the presentation that we have, that student have to design something and present it in front of the class in the group. So the different method of exam that we have. And part 2, would like to share about how like welcome ceremony for new student. Usually we this is one example of the invitation. We do it in Kuta, so we give them the first good impression. Yeah, so a welcome dinner for the student, and also yeah, just like normal like registration, and then we welcome with Balinese dance, and also there's a games, dinner, and we chat and we talk about many things. We get to know each other, like all the lecturer will come and all the new student come, and also the staff, so we get to know each other, easily share some experience about places, about where to live or where to stay or where place to visit. And also after that we have entertainment and free time. This is one example that's during the registration, and then we give them sarung for students. So because if we visit some excursion places which is temple, they have to have sarung, they have to use sarung. So and also scarf or selendang, we call it in Indonesia. And then we provide them in the beginning. So whenever they are ready to go for excursion, we have to mention in earlier, like in the excursion brief, that they have to bring their sarung, they have to bring their scarf as well. So that's the performance that after dinners, like a fire dance and any other dance that we show to the student. And student orientation. So here, student orientation, the day after, usually we held the, welcome ceremony on Saturday, and Monday we have student orientation. So this will be a registration, welcoming words from the head of the program and from the dean, and being part of tropical engineering community. That's a brief explanation from our agent and our partners, just like the excursion place that we will visit, and what is the regulation and what can they do and not to do, or something like that. And with also Udayana University representative and all agents and partners. And then welcome words from student, representative of the student, new student. And then a brief, the last one is a brief introduction of each tropical engineering program and courses. So each course coordinator will explain what is the semester learning plan of each subject. So after that, they will have self-exploration on campus and surrounding. This is one example of the student orientation that one of our agent gives the brief explanation about the excursion, the object of excursion, what they are going to do there, and sort of stuff. And then the last for this part is like certificate, handover, and farewell. So this is the graduation of the student. We also usually like inform them if they would like to ask their family member to come, or their close friend, or that's really welcome to join the ceremony, the graduation. So again, we do have registration, Balinese welcoming dance, and words, speech from the dean and also student representative about what they have learned, what's their experience, what the good and bad thing they feel during studies in Udayana. So usually we will hear the really honest, opinion, or and they usually will give a feedback to us for the program. This is kind of the part that really good for us to have a reflection of what the program, and also a speech from our agent about this program, and also closing speech and refreshment. Here's some photos of the graduation that we held last year. Part 3. Part 3 is deal with student. Like the first thing that always come up is complaint. Yeah. This is related with the assessment or grade or assignment. You just from my experience, there is no difference between local student or international student. They're all the same. They try to trick you also. They try to say, oh, I already submit the assignment, but why, what is it in the mark is there is no mark for my assignment too. That's an example. It's always happen like that. And then whenever you ask them to prove, give you the proof, or if you already send, if they send it through OASA, our online platform, they cannot lie. But if they send it to our email, we have to ask them to provide the proof that they already submit the assignment, and also the grade. So so far, all of the complaint we can deal it with kind of really a good face-to-face discussion about what do you want and what's the requirement of the assignment. And also we have to explain the reward and the punishment as well. Sorry, I forgot to mention in the beginning that the reward and the punishment of the for the student, if they hand it before the due date, they're gonna get extra of it. They handed past the due date, they're gonna get discount of the mark. So we have to explain it at the beginning of the semester, so they will aware. So it's minimize the the complaint, because we already clear in the beginning. So cheating as well, they cheat like seeing their student, other student, answers, or asking other students to help them with the assignment, and sort of how it's happened. it's happened in international class. So don't think that in international class this type of things happen. It's happened because they just the same student. Usually in studio, because we already always observe the process of the student, of each student in detail. So we know how the one student different with the other student. So if they cheat, when they submit the assignment is different with the progress, that will be easy to track. So that's why we have the method that each week in studio class, they have to submit their progress. So we can see from the progress if the final result or the final design of the student is way much better than the process, so we can easily track that. So the student also more aware that it's if they have to send the progress each week, so that will be minimize the cheating of student. And then punctuality, always late. And there's some of students always happen in one semester that student come always late. There's always a reason like my tires were flat and my alarm won't turn on, my mobile phone is turned off, so I didn't hear my alarm, and so many excuses. But we have to be really, really sure to explain to them that if they late, they can't enter the class, like we give just the same with local student, like let's say 10 minutes or 15 minutes more than that, you cannot enter the class and you consider it absent for this class. So do not hesitate to tell them like that. So annoying behavior as well. So texting, talking, even sleeping during class, it's happened. One student said that, I went for surfing last night until midnight, so I'm so sleepy, I'm so tired. There's so many excuses about that. But again, we create an activity in the class so they won't get boring. So usually what we done is we create a game, we make games, and also ask them to present about a topic that we already sent a week before, so that makes students stay awake during the class. And yeah, most of tasks like games is really they're really enjoying that we playing the game during giving the lecture. And also student feedback. Student feedback is really important. By the end of semester, after the exam, we give them send them a form, Google form usually, to get feedback from them. What can we do to improve the program? So basically, they're really, really honest. They're really honest. They give. They just really open about everything. So if it's good, they will say good, but if it's bad, they will say bad. So then we will learn from that what we can improve for the next semester. And deal with agent. This is the last part. Yeah. Discussion and negotiation. Based from our experience, there are so many problems that we face with the agent. We collaborate with the agent, like several different agents. Some of them, like, it's hard to approach. Sometimes they interfere so many things, like they want to, arrange the excursion while we already set the excursion. That's one example. And also they get a complaint from student, the student not telling us about what the problem is, and they go talk to the agent, and then we have a tense between Udayana with tropical engineering and the agent. But again, with the discussion and negotiation between student, and lecturer and also the agent that will be solved. Basically, so far it's solved. And then regular meeting we have with the agent before, during, and after program. This is really important, especially to minimize all the complaint from student, and also the problem that we have in the fields, like when we have excursion. So we have to fix everything as much as we can before the program, and also during the program we evaluate if there is something goes wrong, or what will be the next week in the middle of semester. And we also discuss about if there is any changes of the guest lectures, the schedule of the guest lecturer, and also the excursion sort of stuff. And also after the program, like we try to summarize if this program is runs well, or if not, what was happened, and then try to fix it in the next semester. I think that's all from me. Thank you so much. I give the time back to Bapak Ubat. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ibu Anggi. Ladies and gentlemen, let's once again give a big round of applause to Ibu Anggi. Ibu Anggi, thank you so much for sharing with us in details the international programs in your university, especially the excursion. It feels like I'm having a brief virtual vacation when I was watching the slideshows about the excursion. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now we've come to the last but definitely not the least speaker of the day, and you can hold your questions, or you can write down your question on the chat box, and then we're going to have a discussion later after our third speaker finish her talk. Allow me to introduce her to you first. Dr. Margaret Thomas earned her bachelor's in biology or psychology at Macmaster University, Hamilton, Ontario, with the thesis entitled Pragmatics in the Interactions of Attention Deficit Disorder Boys, a Developmental Analysis, and her master's at School of Optometry, University of Waterloo, Ontario, with a thesis entitled Correlating Changes in Retinal Vessel Diameter and Electrophysiological Changes in retinal function during an altered perfusion pressure, and her PhD at Pharmacology, University of Alberta, Edmonton, Alberta, with a thesis entitled Pharmacological Characterization of Cinematic Voltage-Dependent Calcium Channels. Since 2014 to present, she has been a visiting lecturer at the Department of Science Education, Faculty of Mathematics and Science Education, Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia, with a primary appointment to the International Program in Science Education, or as we call IPSE or IPSE. Her responsibilities include teaching assignments within the study program, consultation on English editing for papers prepared by staff and faculty of and the faculty members, and consultant on other language and research issues in the faculty, and also an English proofreader for Journal of Science Learning. She has also made a lot of publications, one of which is Basic Skills for the Biomedical Laboratory, a practical course, and also Time Course of the Flash Response of Dark and Light Adapted Human from the electronic program in Journal of Physiology. And she has also been assigned as the keynote speaker in 2019 at the 6th International Conference on Mathematics, Science, and Education, with the topic Open Education Opportunities Made Easier in the Open Education Opportunities Made Easier in the Industrial 4.0 Era. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please join me in giving the warmest welcome to Ibu Margi.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Welcome everyone to the webinar today. I'm happy to be able to share a few things on my experience in working alongside others in this international program in science education. I'll share my screen, so just give me a moment here to get this sorted out. So the topic of our webinar today is sharing best practices in international class instruction. And I've been impressed to hear about the international programs shared by Pak Gatot and Ibu Sri already today. I think we need to say, or we might be helpful to just remind us all that the IPSC program is one program. It's still quite small in the Faculty of Maths and Sciences here at UP. And we don't currently have we have some students who have done their high school outside of Indonesia and then have come to Indonesia to take part in our program. But we don't have the same dynamic of so many and such a variety of international students as is clearly the case in both the programs at BINUS and in the university, in Ibu Sri's university. So just a bit of background. The IPSC program is small, but it's been going now for 10 years, and it's got a desire to improve and develop, and is, from my experience so far in Indonesia, is a context that's very open to trying new things. So I want to acknowledge my colleagues and faculty members, both in the IPSC program itself, but in the Faculty of Maths and Sciences more broadly as well. So sharing best practices, I would like to focus a little bit more today on COVID-19. I know that Pak Gatot also mentioned COVID-19 and how that has impacted or how they have adjusted in the context of COVID-19. But I do think that there's something in this experience that we've all had this past number of months that will be quite significant as we move forward, not only in international class instruction, but more generally for our education here in Indonesia. All right, so let's see how we can go on here. So some definitions to begin with. For best practices in education, I'm using a general definition that it's teaching methodologies that are effective in achieving the goals of the study program. Best practices are not something that is necessarily new and different. You know, if we are doing something, we have some method of teaching or some method of engaging with our students that is effective in helping our students learn and develop, that can certainly be a best practice, and there's no reason to think we need to change that. But we need to be evaluating what we're doing and be reflective on what we're doing. So that's probably the basic best practice, is to reflect on what we're doing so we can answer the question, is this the most effective way? I've already mentioned briefly on the international class. And so I'm going to use international class as a university course that in some way incorporates more than a national perspective into the learning experience. So again, unlike the examples that have already been presented today, where it's a full program and there's many students from overseas in the courses, the IPSC program has a few students who have studied overseas before beginning their university, but it's very much focused on Indonesian students at this point. Most of the graduates of the IPSE program will go on to be teachers at international schools here in Indonesia. And so the language of instruction is English, and we also try to introduce a broad range of models of how to teach. And finally, in terms of definitions, although I don't suppose anyone needs a whole lot of definition on this, my mistake. Pardon me. Why is this not clicking? Pardon me. Why did that happen? I'm sorry, I've gotten a slight technical issue there. There we go. So final definition, COVID-19, a worldwide pandemic that has had and will continue to have really significant impacts on education. And I think we're all aware that the impacts are much broader than just on education. But I do believe that this COVID-19 experience that we continue to work through, shall I say, will be quite a significant marker, you know, as we look back, that there will be a lot of change that comes as a consequence of COVID-19. All right, we're back onto our plan here. All right, so okay. Why is this? I'm sorry. Slide. Next slide. I should be able to do this in different ways. Now I'm getting it to go on one slide, on one page, but it's not advancing on this other page. Why would that be? There we go. There we go. So my primary sources for these reflections, because mostly that's what it is, I'll be sharing just on my experiences, come from the fact that I am Canadian and I'm working in Indonesia, and I have been in Indonesia for a number of years. And so I'm drawing experiences both from my time currently here in Indonesia, but before, currently in Bandung. Before I was in Bandung, I did work for a number of years in Medan at the University of North Sumatra, teaching in their biomedicine, ilmu biomedik program. But since 2015, I have been assigned here at the Faculty of Arts, of Maths and Sciences in the International Program on Science Education. Right, all right, pressing on. So in addition to my own experience, I have also found it really very helpful to have had an introduction. These are a couple of Canadian researchers in the whole area of education, Stephen Downs, and the second one is Tony Bates. And both of these gentlemen have worked for years and years in the Canadian higher education system. And I have found some of their reflections and some of their work to be very helpful, both just really helpful generally in how to use technology in higher education and how to think about what it is we're trying to do as lecturers and educators in the higher education context. So, what happened before we came to this pandemic? I will explain what my teaching experience in the IPSE program was like at that time. So we had face-to-face classes of 100 to 150 minutes per week. And the class size in the IPSC program is generally about 25 students. Most of the courses that I was teaching were courses related to English for academic purposes. There's 3 of these courses in the whole program. Occasionally, I have also taught in biology content courses in the program. And usually, particularly for the English for academic purposes classes, because one thing that many of our students have not had a lot of experience with is the opportunity to talk with and engage with a native English speaker. And for a variety of reasons, not least that I've been around for a long time, it has usually been possible that I have been able to arrange for someone to come in person to the class. And that allows the students to engage in a discussion. We've set up the discussion related to something that the students have been working on in class. And that has proved to be a useful activity, an enjoyable one too. And in terms of our communication within the class, of course, we meet face-to-face, so there's an obvious opportunity to communicate expectations and what's going on. But we have also used social media, Line or WhatsApp or whatever social media the students are request has been what we've used. And I have also used the university LSM SPATA or SPOT to some extent, but only a little bit for some special reasons. But essentially, we're meeting face-to-face, so you have opportunity each week to communicate with the students in a straightforward way. So we're thinking of our course. We're in the 21st century, and we've talked, I'm sure, not today, but I'm sure you have participated in webinars or have read articles about the significance of this new revolution into the everything being connected on the internet and the Internet of Things and so on, and all this change that has come in the 21st century. And so there are some 21st century skills that our students need to develop, and our educational system needs to train and support our students in developing. But at the same time, we're not, we're still humans. We're not going entirely to the computer. And in fact, the human side of skills are becoming more and more important, right? So this Humans Wanted is a report that came out again from Canada 2 years ago, looking at what kinds of what kinds of skills students need. And it became clear as they interviewed various businesses and stakeholders that some skills are in far greater demand than others. And the skills that are in great demand in the 21st century are skills of being able to listen in an active way, of speaking, communicating clearly, of critical thinking, of being able to understand material that you're reading. I mean, there's so much material now available because, of course, we have the internet, and that opens tremendous amounts of reading materials to us all. Other skills are still needed, but not in such a high demand. So skills, I teach in the science department. I love science, but teaching or skills of memorizing or knowing lots and lots of facts about our subject area are not as important now as perhaps it used to be, because we have these other resources to quickly access facts. But what's important is that we can use those facts in effective ways through our listening and our critical thinking. Programming skills are needed, and technology design skills are certainly needed. So these skills are needed, but they're not maybe the most important skills that are needed. And so I'm just arguing today that it's important for us to recognize that maybe some of the skills that our students will need going forward are skills that are different than what we needed when we went through our own educational program, however long ago it was. And I have to say, Ubad, when you read my CV and gave some background, I had not thought of the undergraduate thesis I had done probably for 20 years. So, so you know, and what I needed to do that thesis is much different than what students would need
such
now.
a good or bad reminder to you?
Oh no, it's just a fun reminder. We did.
Okay.
We watched videos of boys interacting and trying to code what they were doing in their behavior. It was an interesting thing to do, but I haven't thought about it for a long time. Okay, so we've got these 21st century skills that are needed. One common way, again, that I expect you've heard about are the 4 C's. Students need to be able to communicate and collaborate, critical thinking, and have creativity. And I would suggest also self-confidence is something that is important that we incorporate into the way we design our courses and our programs. I don't know, I'll say especially for Indonesian students who haven't had experience or very much experience yet outside of the country. It can be very intimidating for you know, the students to think, oh no, I have to speak to this foreigner. I won't be understood. I won't know what they'll say, and all these different things. It can be very intimidating. If we can, in these international programs, again, I'm speaking from my experience, which is very much teaching in an Indonesian environment, not so much with international students from outside of Indonesia. So confidence is an important element that we need to bear in mind. All right, so we have these skills, we have how things were going along and everything was great. And then we had the pandemic. And suddenly, you know, tiba-tiba, in March 2020, we are online, and the sudden change from 100% face-to-face on campus, you know, interacting in a certain kind of way, doing our lectures in a certain kind of way. We're suddenly being asked, okay, just move online and do everything online. So immediately, you know, we all, I expect again, all of you had these experiences. You know, we suddenly had to learn how to use Zoom. Maybe we started doing screencasting to record our lectures. For myself, I moved to use more Google Classroom as a kind of LSM for the classes that I was teaching, and so much more communication on social media with the students. And this past little while, we've been using WhatsApp more than anything else. So, so we're in the pandemic. The first semester, we just had to do it, and we didn't have a lot of time to think or plan. And somehow we made it through, I think, for the most point. But I expect that there's lots of experiences in all of the participants of our webinar today, you know, what you felt or what you did when you were suddenly faced with going online because of the pandemic. So that might be something you wish to talk about later. That would be fine. And then the pandemic didn't go away. I think many of us thought, well, this will be something we'll have to deal with for maybe 2 months. You know, certainly it will be sorted again by the next semester. But of course, that wasn't the case. And we were faced with, from the very beginning, being online. Now, it was very good. At least I can speak for my experience here at UPI, and I would expect it would be the same at most other universities here in Indonesia. When it became clear that everything was going to be online for another semester, the leadership and the administrative staff of our institutions did put in a lot of effort to try and provide as much support as they could for the faculty and for the students in this new way of doing things. And so we had here at UPI, there was opportunities to take training on how to prepare effective mini lectures online, how to organize your study plan for online learning, and so on. So we're grateful that there were such efforts. And we did have a little bit of time. But something that was new for the second semester was, of course, that we had first year students who hadn't had any university experience at all, coming into the university setting, and everything is online. There we go. So that was my experience. I had one first year class. The second year class were the same students that I had had when the pandemic started. All right, and so then what else was new? From my experience in the latter half of the first semester, I decided that it would be really helpful to set up what I'm calling weekly chat times or class chats. I also, for my second year students, supplied a book that we would work through during the semester, because they were all spread out across the country, really, and maybe not readily able to access such materials, or this particular book. Certainly we didn't have wasn't in our library. Yeah, the book was a book for trainee teachers on understanding how we learn, talking about some of the cognitive psychology concepts as we should think about as teachers as we're preparing lessons and so on. And our class chat times, they were chats because it was a small group. I divided the class up into groups of between 5 to 10 students, depending on what our activity was. And that was within the regular schedule of class time each week. I also decided that it would be worthwhile to up my hardware that I had. We're working at home, so I got another screen and I got a better microphone and all these kind of practical things to help in the task that we had to do. And I also, the students and I also experimented with more online resources. So the standbys from the first semester, but also some other online resources that provide a variety of experiences for the students, some scope for collaboration, a little bit more interaction perhaps, because in the way that I decided to do my course, the interaction, we had high interaction during the class chat times, but actually each student was only required to be in class for a relatively brief period of time, like half an hour at most each week. And because of the internet and the timing that we're in, we actually could continue to, okay, that's interesting. We did continue to have an international visitor because Zoom works around the world. And so it was possible to have someone, a friend of mine from Canada who's a student, and her name Ruth, was able to share her experience as a student during this COVID-19 and what her university life was like. And again, positive feedback from the students here, but also from Ruth herself, the opportunity to expand your perspective by engaging with people from another country was really helpful. In addition, because we were online, the way that we set up the international visitor was quite different as well. And we used this Flipgrid, which is a video platform. And on the video platform, my guest, that's Ruth, was able to share a little bit of her story and what she was interested to hear about life under COVID from the students here. The students here were then able to upload a video in response. Ruth could listen to the students. So before we actually met in the Zoom session, there was opportunity to kind of get to know one another because of the technology that we were able to use. Right. Oh, now it comes up. So there it goes. I don't know why it didn't come up earlier, but there we are. Our Zoom chat with Ruthie. I'm going to skip that slide. Okay. So the thing is, there's all kinds of online tools for a higher education. This infographic, or yeah, I guess you call it an infographic, is the results from a survey done in September about the kinds of online tools that are being used in higher education. And so this is only the top 200. There are many, many more. And, you know, it can be quite a challenge to decide what tool should we use or will we use. I also expect that you have used a variety of tools, and that could also be an interesting topic to share or a point to share later. So we have these online tools. We're living in the 21st century where we have such opportunity to utilize the internet and the resources on the internet. And I would like to suggest that the fact that we have all these resources, some of the resources on the internet are open, called open educational resources. And that's a real resource that we should be bearing in mind as we look to develop, again, for Indonesian students, a kind of a more international perspective. So this diagram just illustrates we've got our educators who are connected in all kinds of different ways, and we have students who are connected in all kinds of different ways. The idea of this picture is that the only source of information for our students is no longer the educator, right? Our students are able to access information from lots of different sources. The educator more and more has the role of facilitating the students' management or use of all those resources. It's a much bigger world in a sense than it used to be. Okay, and also that the open online spaces are not really tightly defined. A physical space, our classroom is defined. Our university campus is defined. Our learning management system that we may use at our campus is defined and limited in some sense because of that. But online, it's a really, really big world. And we should be thinking through how to help our students to utilize that resource as best as possible. All right, I think I just have a couple more slides here and we'll be able to go into our discussion time. Oh yes, I wanted to mention, earlier I had mentioned Tony Bates as one of the Canadian educators that I have found really helpful to read his work and to think about some of the things he's been reflecting on. He has done a fair bit of work during the pandemic, helping educators and administrators at universities try to make sense of some of the impact of the pandemic. But perhaps one of the most useful things he has done is made this open educational resource, this book, Teaching in a Digital Age, available. It's an ebook, it's online, readily accessible. His main argument is that we need to first start with our pedagogy. You know, we have to have solid ideas and understanding of what it is that we're doing as educators. And then we choose the technology to support our pedagogy. So we don't just use technology because it's there, but he argues, I think very convincingly, that technology is there that really will help us be more effective educators. So his key, matching pedagogy with technology. So social media can be used in lots of different ways, more than just communicating. But we can think about how to use this resource that all of our students have in their hand as a tool for learning and education. It's a little bit outside of just an international classroom. But again, because I'm working in the IPSC program where our students are new to the international scene, again, these kinds of things are really available and can be used. So as I already mentioned, all kinds of content that our students are able to access on the internet. The thing is, of course, it's overwhelming. So we need to be able to support our learners as they seek and use and apply all this information. We as instructors, again, don't have the last word on any topic, and we need to be able to encourage our learners to explore and develop their skills. And so what we as educators need to do, right? We can't just say, yeah, just go and do whatever to our students. And yet at the same time, we do not want to be, what's the term? There's a term, but anyway, we're not the holders of all knowledge. We need to be encouraging our students to explore and draw from a lot of different resources in order to develop the skills they need. As mentioned earlier, Tony Bates has, before I mention that, just another reflection question for us. Has COVID-19 pushed us meaning educators in higher education context specifically, has it pushed us more quickly towards developing best practices for 21st century skills? Hopefully the challenge has led us to think through things, or probably we're continuing to think through things, and that this challenge will in fact help us to move to perhaps to a new place. Personally, certainly in Canada, it seems clear that going forward, there will be more and more online courses being offered, that not everyone wants to return to 100% face-to-face student meetings or classes as had been the case before. Some, we do need to go back to on-campus interaction, but yeah, I probably, as mentioned earlier by, I believe, Pak Gatot, the flexibility that students want. We need to appreciate also the preferences and expectations of our students. So, would you agree that it is pushing us to more quickly adapt, or what will be the impact of COVID-19 as we move forward? So again, Tony Bates, I've mentioned him previously. He's recently published 10 lessons for a post-pandemic world in the context of higher education. And a quote from this report that he's made, in the long run, the development of integrated face-to-face and online learning can be nothing but good for our students. So that meaning, like, if we are able to not think we have to be face-to-face 100% of the time, and online learning is really a second best choice. He's arguing that part of what we're teaching should probably continue to be online. So he continues, we will have better trained, more adaptable instructors using modern teaching methods to prepare our students better for an increasingly digital age. So that is the end of my presentation. Just a few questions as we go into the discussion. I'd asked, what was your experience when we were suddenly faced with going online? What online tools did you find most helpful? Has COVID-19 pushed us towards developing some different best practices? And yeah, of course, any other questions, please bring them to our discussion time. Thank you. Terima kasih. Hatur nuhun.
Sawangsulna, thank you so much, Ibu Margi. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause to Ibu Margi. You can either give a virtual applause, just like what I did on the reaction button, using the reaction button, or a real one. Well, now that the presentation of Ibu Magis has just finished, it's time for us to have a discussion session. Before I invite more questions, I would like to appreciate the earliest questions on the chat box. First one, we have a question from Ibu Risha to Pak Gatot. Please inform us about kinds of open educational resources that BINUS provide for the students, and how is the tips for the lecturers' high motivation to produce the material of the course, especially in the digital platform. Pak Gatot, would you like to kindly respond to the question?
Sure, Pak Ubat, thank you. Ibu Risha, good morning. Thank you very much for the question, Bu. A very interesting question.
Morning.
Yes, morning, Ibu. Salam kenal. On the open educational resources, hope my understanding is correct. Basically, we provide free range of resources from the student. We put them in our learning management system on the basis of link, for example, YouTube or video platform link. So students can access the open educational resources on their own that is related to the topic in the class. So we provide them the link. Or probably other video from open resources from other university, we will also provide the link to the student. However, we put the requirement that is only limited sources from open sources such as YouTube or other university link. Because we want the lecturer to provide their own resources, their own digital content, their own video. So therefore, we limit them to several resources. But probably you may also extend, or my understanding on the question is about open educational resources that the student can claim into their learning experience. If your question into that area, then yes, we have open the opportunity for students to get external certification. We call it as micro credentials in DP. We have certificate of competence that students can get from the industry or from external parties, such as, for example, Google Digital Garage or Google Analytics or YouTube Certified and so on. So we provide the opportunity for students to get that certifications, and later on, so we provide the opportunity for the student for that certification, and later on they can transfer as a requirement to pass the unit, or in certain cases that can also be used for credit transfer. So that's the answer for your first question, Bu. Hopefully I get your question right.
Thank you.
Second part, on the how to motivate the lecturer to produce the digital content for the course. Look, Ibu, that's definitely very difficult. We just started for the last 3 years, so before the pandemic, definitely very difficult. But again, our rector, Prof. Haryanto Prabowo, clearly mentioned that a new policy, new initiative, new idea itu harus dipaksa, kemudian terpaksa, lalu bisa, kemudian biasa, hingga jadi budaya. Jadi dipaksa, Ibu, gitu ya. You can complain anything you like, but when Pak Rektor said you have to do this, then we have to do it, gitu ya. Jadi dipaksanya diletakkan, we put it in the lecturer key performance indicator as a faculty member sebagai dosen tetap atau sebagai structural, that we put it in the key performance indicator to produce at least, let's say, 2 digital content, 3 video-based learning. We put it in the key performance indicator. Then once they done it according to the KPI, they will get reward, additional incentive, for example. And also we have mini award meaning the best video-based learning provider, the best bits provider. The one that I showed you earlier is the finalist, the top 5 finalists of bits produced by the lecturer. And one of my colleagues in the faculty also earned the best video-based learning, especially for the tourism video-based learning. So we provide award and reward for the lecturer to do that. Also, we believe that if it is a good thing, we have to make it easier. We have to make it available for everyone. So that's why we have B-Box. We have that in every corner. Not every corner. We have that in every campus, in certain corner in our university, to make sure that can be easily accessed. It's online resources. We can do whenever we want. We just need internet access. We just log in and we can use it. So with that in mind, hopefully lecturer will be encouraged to produce digital content. Last but not least, I think we are lecturer, we know that. I mean, we like to debate. Kita suka aja gitu debat, nggak setuju dan sebagainya gitu kan. Apalagi if the direction is top down instead of bottom up. So we usually have or invite the successful lecturer who has been very successful in producing digital content, who very productive in producing digital content, or successful YouTuber with more than 10,000 subscribers in YouTube. We invite them to share the experience. And basically, they said that at the beginning it's very difficult, but once they get acknowledgement, why they can get the traction right, 2, 3 video, and they feel that everything is very easy. And when they click, share the experience, it's different feeling. It is not their boss, it is not the rector, it is not the dean that push them, but if it is the colleagues, they have the tendency that they will follow. With that in mind, finally, we can get the ball running. So we are very lucky at this moment in time, during pandemic, we are ready to produce those digital content. I think that's my sharing, Bu Risha. Thank you.
Terima kasih Pak Gatot. Very encouraging answering. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pak Gatot and Ibu Risha, for the questions. And then the second question, it's still addressed to you, Pak Gatot, from Pak Abu Bakar. BINUS is one of the private universities achieving several international recognitions. What an excellent effort. He wonders what the key factor is in terms of the institutional policies and also the funding. So, Mas Gatot, would you like to please respond to this question?
Thank you, Pak Ubat. Hello, Pak Abu Bakar Bitruna. Thank you very much for the question and also hello, Pak, and also for the encouragement. To be honest, I don't know the answer. I don't know the correct answer, Pak. I don't know the correct answer, and I'm afraid that I think our answer will be probably the same with others as well. But what I felt, because I'm not, we call it BINUSian, right? I'm not real BINUSian. In a way, my undergraduate degree is not from BINUS. My master PhD is not from BINUS. I'm not real BINUSian. But what I learned is that I think the work ethics, the values that we have when we say BINUS, Bina Nusantara, fostering and empowering the nation, our passion to make education as a source to develop the country, I think that's coming from the heart. And with that in mind, we try our best to execute that with what we have. Yeah. For example, Bapak, I think I joined BINUS 2008, and it was when we have a dream that we are going to be world-class university, and it's like, forget about that. That's a long way, but 12 years. 2020, we can achieve that in a way as the appreciation from the Science Higher Education QS rating and so on. I think number one, we have a proper plan. We have strategic plan is a clear route of strategic plan. We have clear milestone 2020, and now we have the new one 2035. We have clear plan, not only plan, but the way we execute it. The way they execute it, we stick to the plan. There are some changes, amendments, but then we always review it, and we also stick to the gun in order to execute the plan. And I think we also very we have a very strong leadership from Pak Rector. Is very strong. Is very visionary, and the way we I think manage to have transition during leadership and so on. That's very Venusian style. For example, like most of the deans right now are around 40. So those who are more than 45 now in the position of Venus Higher Education as an advisor. So the younger generation are doing the bit, the hard work, the less sleep, the Saturday, Sunday work, and so on. The senior more on the consultancy and strategic work. Final part, I think the academics, doing the academic bit, the planning, the execution, the non-academic part, for example, human resources, financial planning, financial management has been done by the professional. So BINUS are like corporate. So the system is like a professional corporate system. We have key performance indicator, clear remuneration system, and those bits are performed by professional, not by us an academic. So probably that's help us to concentrate on what we achieve rather than not based on our ability. I don't know whether this answers your question or not, but that's the bit I think when we clearly have the vision, plan, and values to execute that. Lastly, about the fund, I think we have full support from the yayasan, from the foundation. We know we have the management and the yayasan, director and the yayasan, and we are very strong understanding between the two. Alhamdulillah tidak ada konflik, tidak ada masalah di antara kedua parties. Kita selalu bisa inline dan support dari yayasan luar biasa. Jadi itu juga yang membuat kemudian pendanaan dalam pencapaian itu begitu luar biasa. Karena for example like international accreditation for ACSB, we spend lots of money. ACSB accreditation for business, and it's only the second, and the only private uni to get business accreditation at ACSB. Spend a lot of money, a lot of resources, because the lecturer has to be doctoral, S3, then for that, BINUS has to contribute to give scholarship, not only for the full-timers, but also for faculty members and so on. That requires a lot of commitment, and I think we are lucky that we have this energy between the rector and also the foundation. I think that's the short answer. I don't know the answer, but that's, I think, the key point. Pak Uban.
Pak Gatot, I assume that the clue is this UBINUS implement corporate university strategic planning program, and also the enough fund to finance all program in that university. So that is maybe the words that make UBINUS is go ahead and recognize in international. Okay, maybe itu, Pak.
Yes, Pak. I think that's the clue, and I think at the end of the day we are private university. Our main stakeholders are students, parents, right, industry, and we are trying our best bit to make sure that our students, our alumni are really achieve what their objective in learning in BINUS. For example, our strategic objective or sasaran mutu kami adalah 2 dari 3 lulusan bekerja di perusahaan global atau menjadi entrepreneur. So we measure it seriously, and it all go down up to our KPI. For example, I'm dean. If my employability rate in Faculty of Economics Communications less than 67%, then it will impact my my performance. For example, So that
if we say quality is our business, and UBINUS is backed up with a strong fund, maybe that is the secret, maybe.
Yes, Pak. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Pak Gatot. Yeah.
Yeah, once again, thank you so much, Pak Gatot, and also Pak Abu Bakar for the question. Next,
Yeah.
we have another question from Ibu Risha. This question goes to Ibu Anggi. Just wondering about the development of curriculum of international study programs, and how about the job vacancy? So, Ibu Anggi, would you like to be so kind to respond to the question, please?
Okay, thank you, Pak Cep Ubad. Thank you for the question, Ibu. Basically, the international program that we have are different with what BINUS have, right, Pak Gatot? Because we don't have the full international program. We only have one semester and also short courses. So if we see from the getting job vacancy or sort of stuff, some of our students, which is from international student, they can find a job in Bali. So just kind of like things, like different, because they not only would love to learn about tropical, I'm saying this in an architecture department, right? Not just want to learn about tropical design or sort of stuff, but they also want to work here in Bali and part of Indonesia as well. So they then they have a skill and also knowledge about design in tropical countries. So that's one thing that I can see become as one of the good thing from our program. Some of them we will still keep in touch with my alumni. They say that Anggi, now I'm working in this kind of architect bureau, and then I will join the principal architect to design this resort or some of stuff, kind of that, and then move to Sulawesi and also things like that. So yeah, that's all I can say, that they can have something more than other friends, that they can be able to find a job in tropical country as well. Some also work in Vietnam and the Philippines. I hope that answer your question. Thank you.
Terima kasih, Bu Tri.
Sama-sama, Ibu.
Okay, terima kasih Ibu Anggi dan Bu Risha. Ya, Ibu Bapak, before we move on to the next question, I would like to remind you to click the link for your attendance record.
Okay.
And on behalf of the UP, there's no option for OP Regional Campus, but it has been revised. So those from OP Regional Campuses can choose the link provided of the names of the faculty of the OP Regional Campus's name. Next question we have from Pak Budi Setiawan, and the question is addressed to both Ibu Anggi and Pak Gatot regarding the international student admission, progression and recognition, and or international class perspective. How do you set up the curriculum to be in line with the national standards? For example, the ECTS system and SKS system. So Ibu Anggi first or Pak Gatot?
Bu Anggi, probably ladies first.
Okay, ladies first.
Okay. Thank you for the question. Yes, for sure. We already set up the curriculum adjusting to the national and also international curriculum. In architecture, we also set all the curriculum based on international standard as well as for the accreditation. And so this is include the international program as well. So one example, one semester program that we have in tropical engineering, there are 6 subjects. That's all the subjects are already adjusted with the national curriculum and also international curriculum. So like I mentioned in my on my slide previously, the system like ECTS and how it's equivalent to the SKS system that we have. So basically they don't have a big gap. Like we have one SKS is 36 hours. But in one ECTS, we have 25 to 30 hours. But now in tropical engineering, we use the 30 hours. So it's not exactly have a huge gap, but it's kind of similar. So when we we break down that into all its subject. We know how many hours that we have to teach and how many hours that for the assignment and also the excursion and sort of stuff. I think I'm not the expert for this, but that's what I can explain. I hope that can answer your question. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ibu Anggi. And Mas Gatot, would you like to add something to?
Thank you, Pak Ubat, and also Pak Budi Setiawan, ya Pak. Yes, Pak. My experience is that when we focus to fulfill the criteria of curriculum for DT, 146 credits for undergraduate degree, then we'll be fine. If you want to convert it into Australian system, European system, you'll be fine. Why? Because that's to be honest, just a lot. Yeah, 20 credits per semester, that will be a lot. Yeah, so that will be easy. For example, like we are dealing with Newcastle University, we have 6 to 7 units mata kuliah per semester, gitu kan. Ketika kita konversi ke University of Newcastle, we can easily convert 6 to 7 into 4 mata kuliah, 4 units from Newcastle University. So at the moment, we don't have any problems. The key is when we have our main curriculum, according to DT, 146 credits, and then we link them to the graduate objective or student outcomes, then we'll be good, we'll be fine. It shouldn't be a problem, and we can easily map. Because, for example, for us, when we have to have double degree, we have to report it to DT. We have to allocate our curriculum, we have to inform it, we have to prepare naskah academic as well. When we prepare those documents, we have to inform the mapping from our curriculum to the curriculum of our partners. So in summary, it shouldn't be a problem because our curriculum is already heavy. Our curriculum is already not very flexible. So when we certify curriculum from DT, basically we can adjust with the system according to our partner. That's my experience.
Yeah, thank you so much, Pak Gatot. Next, we have a question from Pak Dedi Suryana from the Faculty of Language and Literature Education. One thing that he can conclude from this discussion and this pandemic time, and since online learning is highly acceptable by all universities all over the world, in the future, he thinks that this experience will open the possibility to study overseas online. Is it? I would like to give an opportunity to Ibu Margi first to respond to the question. Ibu Margi, mangga.
Ya, terima kasih. Ya, baiklah. I would expect it will. I don't know of a lot of details currently of how that will all work out. But I would say, you know, again, it's interesting, the previous question about how to menyesuaikan the requirements of the course in Indonesia with the international credits and so on. It's complicated, I'm sure, and I'm no expert on that. But the opportunity to take courses and to receive like a recognition for the study that you have done, certainly the discussion that I'm following in terms of what's happening in Canada is that there's a real trend towards a more broad interpretation of what education is. That going forward, you know, not everyone has the opportunity to go to university, and you know how to provide opportunities, because we can with the online resources, to people who would otherwise be limited to that, which then there's no reason why that is limited to one country, you know, particularly. I think a big issue that is being discussed is how you would acknowledge the certification that you get from this university or from that course of study or this program that you completed, right? But there's a lot of work and a lot of thought being put into those things. So I don't know. I mean, are we studying overseas if we study online? We're still at home, right? We haven't had the whole experience of actually engaging in a different, completely different context. but even so, I think that's positive. Again, it was Pat Gatto, I think you mentioned how your students are encouraged or allowed to take micro courses from other universities. And that is also something that I'm sure it's happening across Indonesia, but a new thing this year at UPI, which I think is interesting. Several of our students in the IPSE program have joined courses from universities around the world. It's the first time we've done this, so we're going to have to evaluate how effective it is. But it's quite eye-opening for our students at the very least. You know, that's really different than their experience prior or otherwise. So, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you, Ibu Margi. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So at least I can share my opinion in this
Yes.
In this seminar, so everybody knows that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Bu Margi, and also Pak Dedi, my teacher, for stating your opinion on this webinar. Bu Anggi and Pak Gatot, would you like to comment on this?
Pak Gatot first, or?
Okay, if you say so, Bu.
Yeah, let's take turns.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Pak Dedi. I think this is a very interesting question, and I would say my answer will be my statement will be unpopular opinion among others. But this is based on my observation. Earlier, people will say that brick and mortar model of education is finished. Online is everything. We will like to study online. That's easier, that's cheaper, more accessible, this and that. This is the end of education, this and that. But I think pandemic, at least what we observe in Venus, say different fact. Students really miss their campus. Lecturer really miss their interaction day to day with the student. Students struggle to learn through Zoom. They have Zoom fatigue. They have enough with the assignment from the lecturer, right? Bahkan di dalam profile picture-nya di Zoom sekarang tuh anak-anak tuh suka ini aja. Ini tugas apa kasih ibu sepanjang masa, nggak ada selesainya katanya gitu kan. So they make some jokes like that. So my answer, Pak, I think at least from the data that we have, the interaction, we are social animal. We need interaction. Students need their friends. Lecturer need the student to see their direct face, their interaction. So I think to some extent we still need this face-to-face interaction, especially study like engineering from Bu Anggi, hotel management in my faculty, tourism. They still need face-to-face interaction. So at the end of the day, we still need the interaction. We love it. The data from Venus, the census that we have from next semester plan, 75% Pak Ubat. Even though pandemic, even though they have to fulfill the requirement of the parents, 75% of the census that we have, they want to go back to the campus. They get tired by online learning. So that's probably the answer. So we still need the experience. We still need the feel to have face-to-face interaction. However, I did not override completely about online education. As Bu Margi mentioned earlier, online education will be still useful from those who, for example, in an inaccessible area. For people who have limited access, for example, to the face-to-face interaction, people yang D3 ke S1, D3 ke D4, dan seterusnya, they still need that. So there's still certain people, there's still certain who will be beneficial for the online education, but not in general. At least that's my opinion, Pak Upa. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Gatot.
Well, thank you so much, Pak Gatot. Ibu Anggi, before I ask you to respond to that, your Pak Gatot, that was such an interesting point of view, and it reminds me of our discussion the WhatsApp group with Pak Abu and Bunia, in which Pak Abu told us that he really enjoys this learning situation, and then Bunia told us that she really missed the good old days because, yeah, you know, nothing to this day, nothing replaces face-to-face interactions between the teachers and also the students, and especially for us lecturers. Sometimes with this online mode, the workload is unbelievable. You know, it's 24/7. Yeah, so just saying. Yeah, Ibu Anggi, I'm sorry for interrupting. Yeah, please, would you like to please comment on this issue too?
Okay, thank you, Pak Cep Ubad. Yeah, I'm really agree with Pak Gatot because I experienced that as well as a lecturer. You know, like actually, I already published a paper about that. You know, like online learning during pandemic, and I asked a student to fill up a questionnaire. And one of the weaknesses that they feel that they miss their friend, they miss the interaction with their lecturer, and they have lack of mood or idea to what I said, to make their assignment, because usually they have discussion with their friend, sharing ideas and sort of stuff. When I asked, like, I did some interview as well with students, but like, you can do it online, but it's different. So basically, I'm still agree with online system, but in some cases, just like Bu Margi also said, and Pak Gatot, that for like people who have less access to like personal contact, and it should be mixed between offline and online. I'm personally also do some offline because my student insists, Ibu Anggi, can we meet please? I don't understand this. Can we meet please? And then I arrange the time with my students because I'm teaching studio, which is the sign, and I need to, you know, like help them with their concept and ideas and everything. So it's hard if I always do it online, and they can't express all of their ideas as well online. That's why we meet like once a month with a COVID-19 protocol, and we discuss everything, like what the question, what they're confused about, and that's become more effective, and the student is really happy. Not only them, but me as well, because when they send me the assignment, one student's like 65 pages in A3 format, it just make me headache to download and then to see and then to scroll all the drawing. It just like make me want to vomit. But when I meet them personally, I can see the drawing, so it's easily automatically for me, just, you know, my hand is just dancing through all the drawing and fix this, fix that. So just yeah, basically just like make us all happy, not the lecturer and but the student as well. But for the online what is the system, one thing that we have right at the moment, that we have 7 students who study online in one semester course with international credit transfer. That's one thing that we can see give the opportunity to our students to learn overseas, but during this pandemic. So they learn a lot of things. They get, they can access, get access of all the resources. We at the moment we have students who study at Kobe Women University, University of South Alabama, and University of South Australia. So that's kind of thing that I can see like a positive thing that our student can get from this system. But so far, like it should be mixed. Can't do all with the online system. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay,
Well,
thank you.
thank you so much, Ibu Anggi, and I believe that all of us here can relate to your situation. And let's just hope that the tagline of Kasih Ibu, I think it's not only relevant to the students, but also to us as lecturers and researchers, because it's never ending. The workload keeps increasing over time, right? Well, ladies and gentlemen, there is a request from Pak Budi. He says it will be much he would be much grateful if Ibu Anggi and Pak Gatot give us brief and deep overview about OBE, the outcome-based education, he says. So, Pak Gatot or Bu Anggi?
Pak Gatot, please.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Bu Anggi and Pak Ubad. Yes, I think that's a very relevant question. I think we do understand that the direction that we have in terms of curriculum development is based on OBE, Pak Budi Setiawan, outcome-based education, and I completely, we in business completely love it in a way because it's opening up a lot of, it's opening up Pandora boxes for us. Why? First, we have implemented because we do understand that a lot of international accreditation for study program require OBE. For example, we have EPAS, AECSB, HEAC. They require all outcome-based education, and we start to implement it. And now we are in the phase of reviewing. So we have implemented for 2 semesters, and we currently reviewing the implementation of OBE in Binus University. What we like about OBE is, like I said, opening the Pandora boxes in a way that we are focusing on the outcome of the students. We are not only focusing on the process of learning, but also the outcome. In a way that I think if we are brave enough, we can make the idea that probably the learning process may not be focused on the 13 weeks of time, for example. We can easily divide the study process like 4 weeks, I don't know, 6 weeks. If they can achieve the outcome-based education with the assurance system that we put in place, definitely, then we can speed up the process of learning. Again, this is part of our answer that our education system is too rigid. We are not be able to, deal with the external pressure where the certification model, the learning model is much quicker. And I think we really welcome the OBE we have implemented. And I think we know that in Pak Rektor's mind, he will change some of the models. We may see that study in Binus in certain credits can be shortened because we are focusing on the outcomes. I think that's our take on our outcome-based education. Hopefully that's answer your question, Pak. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Pak Gatot. And Ibu Anggi, would you like to please also add something to the OBE overview?
Okay, thank you so much for the question. Actually, I'm not the expert of this, but if we can see that the outcome-based education, it's just like not like similarly like what Pak Gatot said, like more into the process and doing review and feedback of what we have done. And then, like learning from that, and we just keep doing what is like the plan that we already set, and also with the feedback and the review, we can know what is going wrong, and then try to figure out how to, minimize the negative impact or sort of stuff, and learning by that process and the stage or the plan that we already have set, it's really important. So far, there's not many things that I can say. I think that's from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Ibu Anggi. Well, before
I
I
just want to
invite
add a little bit.
Sure.
On the OBE, and I think I don't know whether Bapak Ibu also share the same problem. The issue with us with OBE is just the paperwork. I mean, the paperwork, the evidence of that OBE. Because we follow the international accreditation, we have to provide the evidence, and that's painstaking work in terms of the providing the evidence of the OBE. Because in every assessment, every evaluation, we have to make sure that they achieve the outcome as mentioned in the student outcomes or the graduate attributes. That's a challenge. Especially if we right now during the evaluation, all the documents are soft copy file, we download it from the system, and we have to write it one by one and make a summary of the result and make a comments. The paperwork is just difficult. Especially in Binus, we have like 7 days, Pak, that we have to submit the mark. If you miss the 7-day deadline, then your KPI will be gone to the window. So we have only 7 days to mark it. Like, 1 class, 2 classes, we have to do it in 7 days.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's tough. The paperwork sometimes the OB then make us difficult. But hopefully, if we have a more digital system, meaning that we have a system in place and can help us easier the paperwork, that will be much better. But at the moment, that's the way we felt right now.
Thank you so much, Pak Gatot. Wow, that must be the most exhausting 7 days of their life, preparing the dates and the evidence of the outcome-based curriculum. Thank you so much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, before I invite more questions, just a gentle reminder for those who haven't filled out the attendance link. It is provided on the chat box. So please kindly click on the link and then fill in the information. Well, ladies and gentlemen, is there any more questions or comments or things to discuss with our extraordinary 3 speakers today? Yeah, so
Actually, I have a question.
Sure. Yeah, please, Ibu Humargi.
Yeah, I have a question for Pak Gatot. I was quite interested in the B box and the bits. Now, I didn't quite follow if the bits was like an LSM for your university or quite what that is. But from what you have shared, since you mentioned it initially, I gather these things have been part of BINUS for many years. Is that right, or is it something quite new?
Yes, thank you, Margie. It's something quite new for us. So first, we have our own LMS, learning management system. We call this BINUS Maya. So that's our own learning platform. So we put everything in there, interaction, discussion forum, and so on. So we have that learning management system. Then to prepare the digital content, because the rise of digital content, MOOC, and so on, then we develop a bit the software that enable the lecturer to prepare their own digital content on their time. So that they can be done everywhere, but as long as they have the connection. But the limitation of it is that we only use it for digital content in terms of interaction in digital animation. So more on animation only, as I show you earlier. But for the B-Box, that's more interactive. We have video, we have voiceover, and also they can edit in certain interactive way. And B-Box, instead of online, that will be placed in the campus. Then we can book the time and schedule, and then they can use it in the unit. So that's what we have.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Well, thank you. So, Pak Gatot and Bu Anggi, do you also have a question to Ibu Humargi? In case you want to reverse the role.
No, I think I have to learn from Ibu Margi because she has really sort of source of online resources. So yeah, that's really, really good. So I'm just, just the beginners. It's not yet like Pak Gatot as well, like a famous YouTuber. So I just still learning. Like very gagap with this, like suddenly you go online and have to make all the materials, study material in online system, and then just lucky that I have children who taught me how to do it. So I learned from my children. So.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if there is no more questions or comments, I believe we have come to the closing of today's webinar. But before the closing, Pak Abu, would you like to say a few more words, please?
Yes, Faubad, thank you very much. So once again, I'd like to extend my appreciation to Dr. Gatot Supriyanto, to Mas Gatot, to Bu Anggi, and also to Bu Margi for your sharing very informative and also insightful experience of running the international at your university.
Well, is it just me or Pak Abu is raising?
Yes, it's freezing, Abu.
Lost his voice.
Pak Abu, we lost you.
Hello.
Okay, now you're back. Okay.
Sorry, now I got that technological glitch. I'd like to thank all the very influential speakers. I would hope that our lecturers from our university will learn from these practices and we will apply it in our international program. Because starting next year, we will have more international program in each faculty and regional.
Are we losing his voice again? Oh, okay. So,
Hello, Bobad.
yeah, now you're back again.
Sorry, my connection is really bad. Yeah, so once again, thank you very much the speakers, Pak Gatot, Bu Anggi, and Bu Margi, and also thank you all audience. Terima kasih banyak. Hatur nuhun untuk para dua Pak dosen dari UPI, dari Ibu Dekan, Ibu Dekan, dan semuanya. Dan ini adalah sesi yang webinar terakhir untuk tahun 2020 karena kita sudah akhir tahun dan akan memasuki laporan segala macam. Tapi insya Allah tahun depan kita akan berjumpa lagi dengan semangat yang lebih baru lagi dan mudah-mudahan nanti kita bisa mengundang lagi Pak Gatot, Ibu Anggi, Ibu Margi untuk sharing yang lebih jauh lagi. Dan mudah-mudahan COVID-19 sudah berlalu sehingga nanti kita bisa mengadakan real, bukan lagi web ya, tapi real seminar. Kita berjumpa secara langsung di Bandung ataupun nanti mungkin kita ini kan ada excursionnya nanti Pak Ubad akan mengajak kita bertemu dengan Ibu Anggi di Bali ya.
Setuju.
Nanti kita mengajak Pak Gatot, Pak Abu Bakar dan semuanya Pak Yus untuk excursion di Bali. Sekali lagi terima kasih Ibu-Bapak semuanya para pembicara atas nama UPI. Saya mengucapkan terima kasih dan mudah-mudahan apa yang kita lakukan pada hari ini mendapatkan manfaat yang serius untuk kemajuan lembaga kita terutama universitas. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you so much, Pak Abu, for the speech and for officially closing the session. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of our today's webinar. I am Ubad, your today's moderator. Signing off. Thank you so much once again, and my apologies for any inconvenience. Stay safe and stay healthy. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Semuanya, Bu Margi, terima kasih Bu Anggi, Pak Abu, Pak Ubad.
Gatot, terima kasih Mas Gatot. Bu Anggi, terima kasih Bu Margi.
Sama-sama Pak. Terima kasih Pak.
Sami-sami.
Bapak Ibu semua, Pak Ubad.
Matur sukma Bu Anggi.
Pak Dedi, hayu nyanyi Pak Dedi.
Pak Dedi, silakan Pak Dedi. Masih ada waktu untuk 2 lagu.
Ya, Bagger Band gimana kabarnya Bagger Band? Pak Dedi masih mute. Masih mute Pak Dedi.
Pak Dedi itu salah satu vokalis kita Pak Gatot dan Bu Anggi.
Itu
Gitu.
judulnya dia.
Iya.
Iya betul.
Ya,
nanti
jadi
bisa
itu
diputar
lagunya lagu saya
Anji.
itu.
Oh,
ya itu dia. Ini royaltinya Pak Ubad, royaltinya udah dibikin ke Pak Dedi.
Royaltinya itu tuh harus itu
Iya.
lagu saya ya.
Nanti dalam bentuk IBK lah Pak ditransfer Pak Abu.
Saya izin dulu Bapak-Bapak.
Terima kasih
Ya,
buat
terima
Bu Anggi,
kasih,
silakan,
Bapak Ibu.
silakan Pak Gatot.
Ya, terima kasih.
Silakan, makasih Pak Gatot.
Mari.
Ya.
Makasih Pak Dedi, makasih.
Ya, you too. Okay, be safe.
Pak Ubad,
Thank
kalau
you,
materi PPT tiap presenter ada Pak?
Kita akan kirim Pak Abu, kita akan kirim lewat email ke
Ya,
semua
thank
peserta.
you,
Ya,
thank you.
Insya Allah.
Ya, terima
Insya Allah
kasih.
Bapak, semua materi akan dikirim ke email peserta. Terima kasih Bu Bapak semuanya.
Terima kasih Pak Abu, Pak Ubad.
Sami-sami.
Uber
Hatur
sama-sama.
nuhun.
Izin ya, Lab ya.
Mangga Pak.
Mangga,
Hatur
Bapak,
nuhun.
mangga.
Pak Ubad, terima kasih banyak Pak Ubad.
Iya, langsung lah Pak Abu. Saya juga
Ya.
mohon pamit ya, mohon pamit live.
Ya, sama-sama
Ya.
hatur nuhun. Mangga saya akan tutup ya.
Siap. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Ntar matiinnya kok nggak bisa.
Ibu Bapak, terima kasih. Mohon maaf, saya mau close ya. Zoom-nya. Hatur nuhun, sadayana.